Hey, St. Matthew's Elementary School. I was asked to talk to you about the principle of honor. So I need your attention in the back of the room. Some of you are nodding off. Thanks. I was asked to do this, I suppose, because I once held a position of honor. You can see that I'm wearing a white coat because I'm a physician. I may have actually seen some of your parents in clinic, but I'm not going to tell you about their medical problems. I'm going to talk about honor. I was in the military, and as a physician in the military, one of the assignments I was given was as a White House physician. So I ended up taking care of the President of the United States. In the military, this is one of the hats that I used to wear. Now, if you want to be in a position of honor, you have to make up your mind that you're going to be an honorable person beforehand. You have to learn now to be a source of honor for your family. Your life is your parents' gift to you. What you do with your life is your gift back to your parents, and I might add to the teachers that are teaching you right now. Your teachers will be honored by what you do with your life. You can be anything you set your mind to. You can be a person of high distinction, or you can be a person of dishonor. You can make others honored to have been your classmates here in elementary school. It started for me in the 4th grade. I was in the lowest of 3 reading groups in the 4th grade, but I made up my mind that I was going to be in the top reading group by Christmas, and I was. It's been said that you can't discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. For you, it might have been when you learned how to ride the bicycle. You had to have the courage to tell your parents to let go of the bicycle so that you could ride on your own, and off you went. If you are honored for what you accomplish in this life, you should never lose sight of those that helped you set sail. They are the ones who are teaching you right now. Watch how they treat others and try to do the same. One of the people that influenced my life was my father. He taught me the principle of work. This is a hat that my father used to wear. He's passed on now, but he's still an important person in my life. We used to work on the farm together. One of the things that we did was we used to hoe. And when we hoed down a row of a crop, we'd get to the end of the row. He'd usually be ahead of me, and he'd be drinking some water. One day I can remember in particular, he got to the end of the row before me. When I got there, he said this. He said, "Son, at the end of the day, you're going to be a day older. You can either work really hard and accomplish a lot, or you can work very little and accomplish nothing. Either way, you're going to be a day older." I made up my mind that day, from that day forth, I was going to do as much as I could each day to make good use of my time. I remember my father never passed someone on the side of the road with a broken down car. I just never saw him do that, and it was in a day when there were no cell phones, so those people really needed help. He never passed up an opportunity to serve. My mother taught me the principle of loving to read. This is just one of many books that I read, but I used to read 6 books a week when I was in elementary school and junior high school. When I was in the Boy Scouts, I had a scoutmaster. His name was Eddie Grodzinski, and he was like a second father to me. He taught me the principle of doing my best in all circumstances. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to do your best. When I was in high school, something strange happened. I went from being the shortest person in my freshman class to being one of the tallest persons in my class when I graduated from high school, because I grew 15 inches during the 4 years of high school. I remember I had a basketball coach, Charlie Irwin, when I played basketball at a junior college. He taught me the importance of being a true competitor who doesn't give up, while at the same time being a true sportsman who doesn't play dirty and who plays fair. Later, I was honored as the distinguished graduate at the junior college from which I graduated. I went back there and I thanked each of my professors individually for what they had done for me. When you leave here, make the teachers proud. Go back and thank them. All my elementary schools are dead now because I'm old, but yours are still living. You have the opportunity to thank them for what they do for you. It doesn't matter whether you graduate at the top of your class or the bottom of the class. What's important is that you do your best. And who you are is just fine, just the way you are. People of honor are often very ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Make us all honored to have known you by being true to the values you know to be true. As an undergraduate, I went to the University of Kentucky, but then for medical school, I went to the University of Louisville. You decide who you want to cheer for, the Cats or the Cards. But either way, I'm going to cheer for the Tigers. You're the best. Thanks.